بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. So we're now in the sixth section where we're discussing إعراب. And we mentioned this إعراب أصلي. And إعراب أصلي means we have مرفوع with ضمة, منصوب with فتحة, مجرور with كسرة, مجزوم بحذف الحركة. And we said the إعراب أصلي and it's إعراب فرعي. Now إعراب أصلي is this, and an إعراب فرعي is secondary إعراب. So أسماء الستة has a secondary إعراب ألف واو ياء, مثنى جمع مذكر سالم ألف واو ياء. And now we're moving on to جمع المؤنث, what we call جمع المؤنث السالم, even though Imam Ibn Hisham rahimahullah labels it slightly differently. What is أولات? What does أولات mean? أولات is actually what? You have ذو, the plural of ذو is ذو or ulu, and the feminine of أولات is of ذو is that, and the feminine plural is either ذوات or it can be أولات. Yes, so this is the singular form, singular, and this is the plural form, and the plural has two. So أولات is the one form on its own, أولات. So أولات, so this is also it's supposed to be أولاتي. Okay, because this is adfun illa. Remember at the beginning we had word illa? Remember? So the i'rab is this, except asma'u sitta, except muthanna and jam' mudhakkar salim, and except ulat. So we know what ulat is. Ulat means the one who has. So for example, ulatu ilmin, those women who have knowledge. Ulatu fadlin, those women who are very virtuous. That's number one. وماجمع بألف وتاء مزيدتين. And basically, this is basically Jam'ul Mu'annas Salim, what we know as Jam'ul Mu'annas Salim. Okay? Meaning Muslimat. But how is it translated it? And that word which has been made plural using alif and ta. Okay? So for example, mayyitun. What's the plural of mayyitun? Amwat. Is that Jam'ul Mu'annas Salim? Is that Jam'ul Mu'annas Salim? How is it Jam'ul Mu'annas Salim? You have to add atun, which is extra. This is part of the root letters. So he says Mazidatain. So Muslimun or Muslimatun becomes Muslimat because the alif and ta is Za'idatain, Mazidatain. Yes? And not this one, it's not extra, it's part of the root letters. So if any word which is made plural by adding an extra alif and a ta. Correct? So he's explaining the i'rab. So the word ula, so the i'rab asli is for all words except asma'u sitta, except muthanna, except jam'ul mu'adhakkar salim, except kila, kilta, ithnani, ithnatani, and except ulat, and those words which are made plural by adding an extra alif and ta. In amwat, is an extra alif and ta, or is that part of the root letters ta? Part of the root letters. So that's why that's not under this rule. And also, وَمَاسمي بِهِ مِنْهُمَا. وَمَاسمي بِهِ مِنْهُمَا. And whatever from those, I forgot what minhuma refers to. وَمَاسمي بِهِ. Whatever has been named on a alifin wata, anything that has an alif and a ta extra, and you name it as such. For example, the word Arafat. Are we talking about many Arafah, or is that the name of one place? Arafat. So Arafat is a place where you go for in Hajj. You have Makkah, Medina. Well, Makkah. From Makkah you go to, you have Mina, and in Mina you have Muzdalifah, and Muzdalifah you have Arafat. So Arafat is the name of a place. So Summiya bihi minhuma. So what has happened? Anything which has been named with an alif and a ta extra at the end. Anything which has been named with an extra alif and ta at the end. So let's say for example, somebody decides to name their daughter Zainabat. Just, I don't know why. He wants to name the name of Zainabat. Is that a plural? Zainabat. It's one lady, so he has one one girl, her name is what? Zainabat. Is that a plural? Is it Jumi'ah? It's not Jumi'ah. But if you name somebody on this, then it will have the same i'rab. What's the i'rab? فَيُنْسَبُ ya yansib. فَيُنْسَبُ بِالْكَسْرَةِ. It should be يُنْسَبُ because man majhul. فَيُنْسَبُ بِالْكَسْرَةِ. So marfu' will be with what? Dhamma as normal. Majroor will be kasra as normal. But the mansoob state is different. It'll be mansoob with what? Kasra. فَيُنْسَبُ بِالْكَسْرَةِ. It'll be made mansoob with a kasra. Do you understand? You got it? So again, what we're saying here, that there are three words which have a slightly different i'rab. What we would normally call simply the Jam'ul Mu'annas Salim. But he said Ulat is not Jumi'ah. So Ulat technically doesn't fall under Jam'ul Salim. He doesn't call it Jam'ul Salim for a reason explained shortly. But he says anything made plural by adding an alif and a ta extra at the end. And similarly, if there's a singular word, but it's a name of something and it has alif and ta at the end, this also has the same rule. Understood? Does everybody understand this? Yes? For example, خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ. خَلَقَ is fa'il, the zamir mustatir huwa is the fa'il, and the samawat becomes what? What's samawat becoming?
So, we had one meaning was regarding those people who said
Fa'il fa'il and samawat becomes what?
Another was
Maf'ulun bihi. And what state is a maf'ulun bihi in? Mansoob. But how is a mansoob state expressed? Bil kasrati, using a kasra. Muhammad, you following? Abdurrahman, you following? Ji? Wastafal banat. He has chosen banat. So banat is a plural of bintun. So banat. So banat again is maf'ulun bihi. How is what state is maf'ulun bihi in? Marfu', mansooba, majroor? Mansoob. But how is this mansoob state expressed? فَيُنْسَبُ بِالْكَسْرَةِ. It is made mansoob using a kasra. فَيُنْسَبُ بِالْكَسْرَةِ. Correct? So خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ and وَاسْطَفَ الْبَنَاتِ are examples where a مَا جُمِئَ بِأَلِيفٍ وَتَاءٍ مَزِيدَتَيْن has come with a kasra in the mansoob state. Okay? Now, what do we normally say? We say here, Jam'ul Mudhakkar As-Salim has the i'rab of atun atin. Yes? But he doesn't say Jam'ul Mudhakkar As-Salim. Again, remember it's getting technical now than Nahu. So he's saying, for example, this rule. So for example, remember when we were saying Jam'ul Mudhakkar As-Salim? We said Ibnuna separately. We didn't say Ibnun was a normal Jam'ul Mudhakkar Salim. Why? No, not Ibnun. What is it? Banun, sorry. Yes? So we said, technically speaking, Banun is not the Jam'u Salim of Ibnun. What does Salim mean? What does Salim mean? Sound. Salim means sound. Now, Ibnun, has it not changed? So Ibnun is supposed to simply add waw nun. Ibnuna. Is it Ibnuna? It's Banuna. Isn't it? So it has changed. So technically speaking, this is not Salim. Because Salim means it stays sound. It doesn't change. Correct? So similarly, the same rule doesn't apply to Mu'annas Salim. In Mu'annas, you don't have to have no change in the singular. So, for example, when there's a slight change, we said the Jam'ul Mudhakkar Salim rule does not apply, but it applies to Ibnuna. If you look at the feminine plurals, many of them undergo changes, but they have the same i'rab. So, for example, Sajda. What does this Jim have on it? Fatha or Sukoon? What does it have on it? A Sukoon. Yes? And Salim means the singular form does not undergo any change or breakage. What does the plural form have? Fatha. So has the singular form changed? So is this technically speaking Salim? No. So then we say, that's why he said, I don't call it Jam'ul Mu'annas Salim, even though many people have done that. I say is, Ma jumi'a bi alifin wa ta'in mazidatain. That's why he's explained it as, Ma jumi'a bi alifin wa ta'in mazidatain. And not why he said, what other people say, what do we say? Jam'ul Mu'annas Salim. Because technically speaking, words like this are not Salim, but they have the same i'rab. So he said, it's better, I have intentionally changed the wording. different to the normal people of Nahw and grammar, where they say the i'rab of Jam'ul Muannas as-Salim. I don't say Jam'ul Muannas as-Salim because then technically speaking, this word is not Salim. I say any word Jumi'a bi alifin wa ta'in Mazidatain has the i'rab. They both try to get the same point. It won't make much of a difference once you know the rules, but just a technicality he's clarifying to make it very clear to everybody. Do you understand why he said that? Everybody following me? Yes. So if you look at it here now, we sing what we would in our simple books, a word which is sound feminine plural. But to be more technically correct, anything which has an alif and a ta za'idatan extra at the end, which is made plural by this. So that's what? Normal words. Even if somebody is named a singular thing, singular place, singular name, singular person, is named using at the end, it will have the same rule. And the word ulat. So these three, the word ulat specifically, anything named with an alif ta at the end, and anything made plural by adding alif ta at the end, is made marfu with a dhamma, mansoob with a kasra, which is extraordinary, and majroor with a kasra as normal. Do you understand? Everybody following? Yes? Any questions regarding this?
That which I forbid you from.
Well, they call it Jam'ul Mu'annas Salim because they're not being too technical. But what he's called it is Ma Jumi'a bi alifin wa ta'in Mazidatain. That's what he's called it. But most grammarians just use simple Jam'ul Mu'annas Salim. And what they mean is anything that has atun at the end. So they say this, but they mean this. They don't think about this. Yes? Do you understand? Yeah. But again, they probably weren't so technical. And as I said, we're getting a higher level of Nahwa, so they're trying to make sure everything is defined properly, explained properly. Okay? So if you summarize again, you have I'rab Asli, Far'i, and I'rab Asli is Fatha, Dhamma, Kasra, and Hazf, Haraka, or Asma'u Sitta has Alif, Waw, Ya, and Ya. Muthanna, Jam'ul Mudhakkar Salim, Alif, Waw, and Ya. Jam'ul Mu'annas Salim, which is called Juma Jumi'a bi alifin wa ta'in Mazidatain, is Dhamma in Marfu state and Kasra in both Mansub and Majroor state. Understood? Following this? Any more questions before we conclude? Okay, then let's stop here. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.